You want me to start?
Yes.
All right. Hello, I'm Oscar. God. Hey, I'm Gio.
And I'm Oscar.
This is the Come Up.
Today we're going to talk about 3 ways to help you control your spending.
This is going to be a painful episode. But stick around because at the end, the bonus is going to be giving you a few extra ways on how to decrease your spending even further.
By the way, before we get into this episode, just want to mention that we understand everybody's financial situation is different. So we're going to give out some tips, and whatever sounds good to you, take it and apply it.
Disclaimer. So there's a general rule of thumb called the 50-30-20 rule. From this rule, the 50% is going to be your necessities, basically. You're going to spend on housing, what you're going to spend on food and healthcare.
The next bucket is the 30% bucket, which is your wants. And this is where you have your Netflix subscription, your gym membership, your
PS5.
toys, PS5, all these other toys or just personal expenditures that you want but maybe don't need.
And then 20% should be your saving and investing for your own personal goals. So in order to fit yourself in that 20% part of the rule, you want to think of yourself as a necessity so that you can pay yourself first. You want to always try to spend less than you make. That way you are able to take a cut from what you bring in, and that can fill your 20% in this 50-30-20 rule.
Another way to help you control your spending is essentially what you do is you set cash aside in an envelope for different purchase categories. And I'm laughing now because I've realized I've used envelopes in cash before. So maybe you have one for groceries, another one for toys, for beauty products, whatever it is that's typically a discretionary spending, then you can control it because when you see the cash dwindling down, it's a psychological incentive for you to be more mindful of how you use that money. The reason this works for some people is because it's more painful to see the money going versus if you're using a credit card, for example. It's sometimes a little too easy to just swipe. Have you ever noticed in the casinos they give you chips so you can play with? There's a reason for that. There's something psychologically that makes it easier for you to put down chips than it is for you to have to reach into your wallet and pull out another bill to play with.
So for those who are more comfortable with technology and credit cards, you can use an application called Mint. Once you log in, you can go in there and say, whenever you see this charge, that's my rent. Whenever you see this charge, that's my cell phone. It's also able to automatically pick up things like Netflix, Hulu, and other well-known services and categorize them appropriately. Once you have your budget categorized, you can then easily see where you might be overspending, and you can then cut back, and that'll allow you to go ahead and pay yourself first so you can continue your wealth building.
If you're finding this content useful or interesting, hit the like, subscribe, the notification bell, comment, all that good stuff. Thank you. Okay, so you've made it this far, so you get some bonus tips on additional ways to reduce your expenses. Now, this is not going to work for everybody, but it may work for some of you. So one way to reduce your housing expense, get a roommate, or multiple roommates, and share some of that cost of the rent, or if you purchased a house, the monthly expenditures.
And the same concept can also apply to something like your cell phone, where you can get on a family plan with your family, with friends, or with the family of a friend, so you can split the cost there. Another thing that you can split the cost for would be streaming services.
A third bonus tip is you want to treat all your money equally. So if you get a bonus at work or you have a side gig and you get extra money, don't think of that as play money. Treat it as you would any other dollar that you've earned.
Use some of that to pay yourself first, the same way that you do with the rest of your money. I know that 20% can actually be a pretty high bar for a lot of people to save, but don't let that discourage you. If you can't save up to 20%, it doesn't matter because everyone starts somewhere, and wherever you start, that over time may increase. And it's better to save something than not save anything at all too.
And if you can do more than 20%, do it. There's a community out there. It's called the FIRE movement, and people are doing 30, 40, 50%, sometimes more, and they're getting very creative about it. Perhaps down the road we can do an episode about that, but that's probably further down.
We are not financial advisors, and so this is for educational and purposes and I'll cut the other part.
Purposeful only.
For purposes and other purposes only.
I don't even think I need to shoot that.
Swipe. I like that. That's what I do.
Swipe, swipe, swipe.